What is going on, guys? This is Michael from GPURisers.com, back here again in our mining bunker. And today we are going to be installing these 4 6600s onto our AMD holding rig. Now, as you can see here, we have 4 of the XFX Speedster SWFT 210 series. I don't know why they went with that kind of marketing, but we are going to be putting them onto our holding rig right here. Now, if you saw the other video, we did get our Nvidia rig up. We have a 3080 Ti, a 3080 LHR, and 2 3060s. Now, I believe these 2 3060s are the version 2s, which I think are just a stronger light hash rate editions of them, but they have been running solid since then. I actually did see Red Panda's video this morning on the 3080 Ti BIOS change, which gets up to, I think, over 90 mega hash on these. So I'm gonna have to take a look at that video, see what has been going on with these. I've been so focused on all this other stuff that I haven't had much time to dedicate to research. But I actually have a couple more of these 6600s coming in. They're not the best mining cards. I will show you guys the hash rates later on towards the end of this video after I have the 4 of them up there. However, they're extremely efficient. So I used to be all about, you know, consolidation of rigs. And that's because I could have up to 4 in a grow tent, you know, in my shed shooting the hot air out. You can only have, you know, a certain amount of square footage in your house, you know, different spots that you might have these, or in your garage, in places like that. However, now that we do have our mining bunker here, we have a lot of space. So it's not all about square footage. You know, I could have, I think that this 3090 rig's consuming over 3,000 watts. On this one PDU that's powering this, we only have about 2,000 watts left. And especially with our 3060 Ti rig going on it, there's not a whole lot of space left on this PDU. But as you can see, these racks could actually hold 3 on each shelf. So I could have 9 total rigs on a single PDU if the efficiency and the power usage was, you know, low. Well, not the efficiency being low, but the power usage being low. So that said, things have changed a little bit over the past couple months. I'm no longer trying to just consolidate. I am trying to go for max efficiency for mega hash per watt. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'll take all 4 of these out and onto the table. For this video, we will be using our redesign of our 4 capacitor risers, and we will be using our new all black risers. And the difference between our new refreshed 4 capacitor riser and our older model is we do have our logo there instead of our website now. Unlike the 8 capacitor, it does not have a LED chip in the back there for the 16X slot, but our new 1X chips for the capacitors do feature that red LED. So we are very happy with how they came out. So these are our 18 AWG splitters. We're going to use the black ones to match our black risers. So that will be 2 splitters to power 4 cards. Now the risers I will power, I do believe I'm just going to add 2 more splitters to a splitter cable, and that is because of how low wattage these cards are. I actually did that in our 6600 XT rig right here. That is how a majority of the risers are powered. And if you didn't see that video, it is 1 8-pin coming from the power supply, and then each branch then connects to another 8-pin, which gives us 4 total 8-pins from a single 8-pin right from the power supply. And that will be more than enough power to power 4 risers safely on these particular cards. Now, I'm sure you guys seen it with some other YouTubers. We did get it in. We have not been able to test it yet. I mentioned it in the other video, but we will actually build a database on the information that we get from this power meter. And this is, I mean, I don't know if power meter is the right way to really word this, but we can see the exact wattage draw from each 8-pin PCIe. So we will know exactly how much is being pulled from a riser board on all different types of models of cards. So let me go ahead again and get all these cards out. I'll give a quick overview of the card just so you guys can see what a, you know, lower end AMD card looks like. And then we'll get it put onto our AMD holding rig. All right, guys, we are back. I got them taken out of their boxes, and so we can have a little look at them here. All right, so right off the bat, I'm gonna be as nice as I can about these cards. And that said, these are the worst built cards I have ever seen. Now they are thin profile, which is going to be nice in server cases, maybe 12 cards of these things lined up. You can take the fan shroud off. The radiator, as you can see right there, does flow through the entire thing out the I/O plate. But yeah, I mean, this is a low-end card. I don't think AMD makes a lower-end card than the 6600s. However, their slightly big brother, the 6600 XTs, you could see right here. Now these are the Swift edition cards, the same as the others. I know I said SWFT. I'm not sure why they just didn't put Swift on the front, but their bigger brother 6600 XT, I mean, these were built fairly well. When you took them out, you're like, okay, it's a lower end card. You get 3 fans on it though, and a pretty nice shroud. But with these, they're just made extremely, extremely cheap. Maybe I am being a little bit harsh on them, but they are the lowest end card, so I guess it's going to be the lowest end quality, makes sense for it. But still, having a price of over $400 for this, I mean, this is just extremely hard to justify. But that is the chip shortage that we are now in. Some of these 6600 XTs are actually going for around $700, depending on where you get them and everything like that. It is just absolutely nuts. But that said, let's go ahead and get these onto our holding rig and get them mining. I'm gonna get them up there, get everything all plugged in, and we will be right back. All right, guys, so I have absolutely no idea what is going on. I reflashed the SSD. I tried it with 1 card. I've tried it with 0 risers. I've tried it with all the risers. I've tried it with 1 card, 2 cards. Nothing seems to be working. Now I do have a DVI cable coming from the motherboard out to our screen here, and as you guys can see, there is nothing popping up. I'm not sure really what happened. When I first did these 2 rigs, I made sure both booted on and everything was fine. So I'm really kind of exhausted all of my troubleshooting techniques on this rig. That said, I do have a couple extra boards. As you can see here, we have another one with cardboard on it, so I figured cardboard might be a little bit better than the tissue paper one. And everything seems to look fine there. I can't see anything. It looks like on the camera there's a little speck right there, but to my eye it looks fine. So we are going to swap boards. I'm going to take the motherboard off there and put it right next to here, get the processor put over, and also get the cooler over, so I will need to clean the thermal paste and reapply. But while I'm actually thinking about that, I again do not have my thermal paste here, so I will likely just put a new cooler on it. Actually, I'm just going to use a new processor and a new cooler, leave the other one as is for a later date so that we can get this up and going. So that said, let me go ahead and get everything ready for this, and we will be right back. All right, guys, I did swap out the motherboard. It looks like we do have the newest BIOS on this motherboard, which I didn't even know there was a 2019 one that was not on their website. I did swap out this old motherboard, so I do think that that was part of the issue. This motherboard does have a couple broken USBs on the back of it, so that's why I was unable to get into the BIOS for a while. My little keypad here is not working, but we got that figured out. I am going to go ahead and load this BIOS onto it just to reset whatever weird stuff this motherboard came with, and hopefully we can get this thing working. All right, so we have that plugged in. We go over, I believe, to, actually no, it's right here. You can see F12 is BIOS flash, so we have to click FN on here and then 12 over there. That will bring us there. We do have the USB in, and I probably have it in the broken USB like I did the controller. Let's see if that popped up. Let's see if we can exit out of this, go back in it. I have to hold it kind of over it because this does not have the best range. There we go. So let's click this. All right, now it looks like we're frozen again. All right, guys, we are off to a fantastic start. Let me hard reboot this thing. Try all of that again. All right, F12 again. Are you sure you want to flash it? All right, so now it's flashing. Let's hope this does not freeze mid-flash. We got our coffee here again, which we're gonna try not to spill on these cards. We are still going. Now, as I've said before, I am going to be moving these. This one's fine to move. I do wanna, I'll probably put it down here for now. But as I've said before, in our bunker here, behind these bunker doors, there's a little area back here, which the electrical box is back there. And I could put one of these racks over on that corner and have another 30 amp PDU there. So I'll probably do that, maybe possibly split up some heat as well. It is 80 degrees in here. When this AC does kick on, it does rip out all the hot air very well. Cold air comes out of that one. They go over here. Cold air also comes out of that one, but there is the exhaust over there, and you can see that we're still doing some work in here. But I know heat was always an issue, but with these high ceilings, honestly, you know, we have our 3070 Ti rig there, we have our 6600 XT rig there, we have 8 3090s here, we have a 3090 on our test bench, and a 3060 Ti 8-card rig there. While walking right here, I don't feel any heat. This is getting pulled fairly quick out of this room. So it looks like we are ready to reboot. So it's doing its little reboot phase. I'm not gonna bore you guys with this stuff. I'm gonna let it do its thing. I'm gonna hook up these cards, make sure everything is working with the screen still connected to it. And then once it's all said and done, we'll go ahead and disconnect the screen, disconnect everything, and show you guys the overclocks on these RX 6600s. So that said, I'm gonna let it reboot a couple times and we will be right back. All right guys, as you can see here, we are getting around 28.8 mega hash on each of these RX 6600s. So they are very close to their bigger brother, the 6600 XTs. It looks like that these are only consuming about 52 watts per card. That's on the software though. I'm pretty confident that these are pulling a little bit more, but I will do an accurate reading on that at a later time. I just wanted to get this up and going, and as you guys know, it took a lot longer than expected. So I will post right here a screenshot of all of the overclocks that I'm using and the hash rates and everything like that that we are getting on these cards. There's quite a bit more that goes into these cards when it comes to overclocking as compared to Nvidia cards. However, it's not the end of the world, and these things do seem to be running just fine. So that said, guys, I am going to call it a night here. We do have a couple more cards that we need to get online before we start doing some of this experimental stuff, and also bringing some of the rigs from our other location to this location. I think the next thing I am going to go ahead and do is get these RX 6600 XTs going on another 12 card frame. We actually do have the frame right over here ready to go. I have a motherboard here, a SSD, and also we have a 1600 watt EVGA ready to go on this, just like the same exact setup actually as this one. So stay tuned for that. But as always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate all the subs, all the comments, and we just absolutely, again, love this community so much, and we are so glad to be a part of it. But that said, guys, I'm going to sign off here. I hope everyone watching this has a great rest of their day, and we will see you guys next time.